My name is Adiola Fadola, one half of 2Brothers.
My name is Casey Obiajo, the other half of 2Brothers. 2Brothers are just two random guys who came together and decided to tell stories. Yeah, so we're basically storytellers who tell all kinds of stories, from brand stories to life-changing stories to music video stories to any kind of stories, even scientific ones. We just tell stories.
2Brothers are two guys that just want to rise.
For me, not really. Oh. I don't know about Adiola, but for me, I remember growing up, there are two things I was setting I would be in life. Either I was a footballer, I would be a pastor. I was so certain. I told my mother I have a good memory, so I can remember things. I remember I was 6 years old when I told my mom, like, look, I just want to be a baller or a pastor,
Not a mechanic.
whichever one. So, but subsequently, as I grew older, I evolved. I mean, life happened to me. I started to have certain experiences, and the things I used to enjoy changed. And I used to like going out a lot until I stopped liking it. Then I realized that when I stopped liking it, I started doing other stuff on my own. And I realized that telling stories as things that even when I went to film school, I wasn't really passionate about it. I was just, I was one random Igbo guy in school looking to make money. But yeah, as I started to experience the full package of storytelling and how fun it could be. I really, really did fall in love. It was at that moment I knew it was my calling.
This guy is a psycho man. Okay. For me, similar to Casey, I wasn't like a film freak growing up. I think my love for filmmaking came when I lost a cousin and I wanted to tell a story about him. So I did like a tribute video, and everybody was like, "Ah, this shit is dope, man." I was feeling pain,
You
but
can swear.
okay, can't swear. This stuff is dope, and I was like, me, I did feel pain, but people are enjoying what I did, and that was when I was like in, I think my second year in university. So I was like, you know what, maybe I should just give this thing a try. Then I also went to film school, and then I started liking film, and now here we are telling stories that
Oh no, I
touch
liked film. Oh, film. I liked film. I just didn't know if
like
it was something I
that you wanted
wanted
to
to
do.
do. I liked it a lot. Like I used to like hit our TV if it's not working. That's how much I liked it. I liked film a lot, like a whole lot. I watched all kinds of films growing up, Nollywood. I read a lot of comics. Shout out to my dad. He used to get me those comics. We couldn't afford it, but I mean, he went to his friend's house who could afford it. He would get me those that his friends' kids had read and bring them home. I'll pick it up from there. I'll do the rest. All his job was to just bring me comics. I'll do the rest. And I read a lot of comics growing up. I liked a lot of films. I watched a lot of music videos like Michael Jackson with all that stuff. My mom
Trailer.
wouldn't let me watch them, but my dad will allow me. Like, oh, don't worry. When she goes to bed, we'll watch it together. I'm like, yeah, cool stuff. And we used to do that together a lot. But yeah, I liked it, but I just wasn't sure if that was what I wanted to do myself.
It didn't look like a career there.
Nah, I said I just
I
wanted to
remember
be a baller growing
I
up.
wanted to be a doctor or something fancy. But like, yeah,
I
now
remember
we are doing.
vividly. I was 6.
I have a punchline. I wanted to be a doctor, but now I do video treatment. Next question.
No, met in Lagos, land of
Milk
dreams
and
and
honey.
honey.
we
God
met we
of
met on set. On
no, it
various
wasn't.
sets.
No, it wasn't. The first time I met you was Tolu gave me your number, so I was trying to do something for 0 degrees. I called him, and he was giving me rich man's voice on the phone, like, "Hello,
That was my brand.
yes, please can I call you back?" I'm like, "Who is this guy?" And that was our very first encounter.
That was
Then
your first encounter. I'll take you back. The first time I met Casey was with this guy, Badijo. This director. This director, Badijo something. Anyways,
I can't remember.
we're shooting like this DSTV commercial.
Yeah.
You remember now?
Yeah.
We're
You're
shooting
right. He's right. He's right.
this
He's
DSTV
right.
commercial,
He's right.
and yeah, that was the first time I met Casey.
He's right. He's right.
I was on the production side, it was on the camera angle.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm on set, I usually don't see people. So yeah, forgive me if I didn't see you that day.
Let me answer this first.
Go ahead.
Very funny story. So earlier this year, so Casey and I we chat a lot, like we made on set, we worked together. But like
Please
earlier
specify the year. 2020.
2022. So earlier this year, I know we were chatting on Instagram or something, and then Casey was like, bro, I have this short film I want to do, and like I just like the energy. And
Actually,
I think
it was last year.
it was last year.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was last year.
And I was like, I want to do this thing with you. Like, let's do it together. I was like, okay. I don't know why you want to do it with me, but that's cool.
I needed a producer.
Right.
I needed a producer for my short film.
Yeah.
I hit him up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, cool. Let's do it together." Then the thing is,
We haven't done the video. We've not shot that short film till now. Like it's a very weird thing because like that was what we're supposed to work on together.
yes,
And I think like but something interesting was when Casey sent it to me and I looked at it, I was like, man, this stuff is amazing. Like let's work on it. Then we went on a recce. And there's something Casey said to me, it was like, you're the first person I'll send this thing to that will take it seriously. You understand? Like he sent me that script and it was like, bro, I've sent this to a lot of people. And like after a week, I just don't hear shit. But I kept messaging about it, like, guy, let's go for a recce, let's look at the location. And that thing struck out for me because it just meant that he really wanted to work like with me. And then I think a month after, I messaged him, I was like, bro, I really want to start doing music videos. I've done commercials a lot and I want to enter into the music video industry. I know you've done a bit of stuff. I have commercial experience. Let's just do something. And the case was like, no problem, bro, let's do it. And then like a month or 2 weeks after, he just hit me up. Was like, bro, we have this video that I want to do. Are you ready? So I was like, yeah, now let's go.
It was a Falana video.
It was a Falana.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that we shot that video. After we shot that video, there was no band name. It was still Casey and Adiola. And like, I just woke up one morning, I sent him like 3 different names. I was like, bro, we need to find a name because we're supposed to submit the edit to these guys. And how do we go about it? And then we just like, I think we had 2 guys, 2 brothers, and 2 something. And we just went with 2 brothers. And since then, it's just been like this collaborative effort of like, because we do enjoy working together. Apart from us being friends, we also have like similar goals in terms of how we want to tell stories, which is very key for us. The story is very, very important. And like for every project we work on, like that story is like the connecting dot for both of us. So because I have like production background, it just means like I have to break things down completely, like from point A to point Z, like every details like need to be spelled out. So like the process that, and it's also like the process we bring to 2Brothers is that when we get like a script, we get a brief, we look at every single detail and like what is one thing that everybody's going to watch, and like they'll see that and I'll be like, you know what, this is times 10. Like this completely elevates like the video. So the process for me is like looking at it, breaking it down, and looking for just one strong thing that the brand will look at it and be like, you know what, this has elevated even what I gave to you guys. You understand? Like, yes, we're giving you something to work with, but this is something memorable. So memorable is very, very important to like our process. And from our brainstorming process to getting our team, which is like the best team you can find out there. Very, very loyal people. keep up with our bullshit. But yeah, the process is just like story is king. You understand? How do you move the story from just being a best story to an amazing story? It is very, very important. Like camera angles, they're like, by the way, they're interesting things to look at. But even Casey will agree to it. Like, if you miss the story, you've missed a lot of things. And like that is something we don't joke with. Like, it's very, very important that we tackle the story, we break it down, and then we execute.
So storytelling is really, it sounds cliche, but very important. Um, for anyone, I think should be very important for anyone behind the camera, in front of the camera, anywhere part of production. You should, for everything you do, should be a team. There should be the main goal for whatever you do in a production should be to achieve the team goal. Now, the team goal is to tell a story, whether it be wardrobe, makeup, camera, directing, admin, whichever side of the production you're working on. I came from a documentary background. Um, I've been making documentaries since 2009, and they shape, making documentaries shape who I am, what I can do. So now, if you understand documentaries, you understand that documentary is about stories. It doesn't have to be perfect with documentaries. It's just about capturing the moment. So for me, my process or my approach is about capturing the most important moment, the most captivating moment, those moments that will last forever. It's about timing, it's about being honest with the story, and it's about putting your pride aside. Also, working with this guy has taught me that you need to put your pride aside. If not, you will kill him. So, yeah, my process is about approaching it from the perspective of no, it is not my story. It is the story of whoever
Oh,
it
what's it?
is that is in front of the camera. So I try to experience it from that person's perspective. If I'm able to do that, if I'm able to tap into that, if I'm able to get to that level of honesty with myself and with the story, then I feel like, yes, I can go on set and shoot. That is my process. That is how I see it. We've actually not made plans. We're just going on vibes and inshallah. Honestly,
I think we have undertone plans. Like, I think behind our minds or our heads, we know that we just don't want this to be just one. These guys are shooting videos, like these guys are random filmmakers. We want to be like the go-to guys. We want to have an identity. You understand? We're still in the process of it because these are early days for us, and individually we've done like countless projects, and there's this sort of ownership that we have with 2Brothers. You understand? Like, if something goes wrong with something on 2Brothers, the way we sulk, it's like it's beyond words, and like we want to push it to a point where like people just look at like these guys and want to just like tap something. Like, what's this, what do these guys have? Why are you looking at me? What do these guys have that makes like their project special? And when we get to a point where like that is evident, I think we say that yes, we've achieved something like substantial, but want to build a brand that people want to associate with their brands.
he saw the script before me. I wasn't in the country and I was unreachable. And he saw the script. It was his idea. I came in when he already had the idea and we just fleshed it out. Aside from that, so because yeah, that's the honest truth. I'm an honest man.
Honest
hoping to
Igbo man.
I'm hoping to make heaven. So please, I I didn't see the script on time. He saw it, had the idea. Then me, I came in as my usual self, vibes, and we fleshed it out basically. Yeah, but go ahead, answer first.
Okay. So when I saw the script, like two things struck out, and I think like after I identified what Casey said, I spoke with him about it. So one was like I like the relatability with like everyday life. I think when people even see the ad, like they can already understand it. Like and there's something about like a lot of ads that you don't get. You have to wait about 20 seconds before you understand what this ad is trying to tell you. But like from this right, from the script, from the first 10 seconds, you can already tell that this is like a call to action for something like this. And so that stood out. And secondly, and this I think I mentioned this like maybe during one of our meetings, was that there's something about the rice color. Like it's it's close to this.
I
There's something
came with
about the
it.
rice color that slaps.
It
I think
does.
that's the rice. Yeah, like
Bro, teal is fire.
yeah. So like when I saw it and like when I saw the ending parts with the moon morphing into the Rise logo, like I could already see that this thing is just going to look amazing. And like the interpretation of the script, like with like our visual treatment and everything, we're just going to become like this very, very dope commercial. So the script itself and also like the brand itself like was very, very important for us to like work on this thing. Yeah.
When me and Diola had the conversation about the script, and even though he had the idea, one thing that was very key was how simple the story is. It wasn't anything complicated. It was a human story. It was something that talks about everyday life of a typical Lagosian, both
Nigerian.
Nigerian, but Lagos to be precise. Like you go to people who work in hospitals, tech bros, um, um, I mean, in every side of life. And if I'm being honest, I saw myself in that commercial. Yeah, because there are certain things that happen there that either experiences that I've had in the past or I'm having right now. And somehow I felt like I'm a very faith based person. That's God trying to put me in a certain position to do something. So I felt very connected to the story. I felt very connected to the script. And I didn't say it like that to Diola, but I said that this is a very interesting story that I feel connected to. That was what I said to him. And I feel like we can make something out of this. And that was our conversation. That was the first conversation we had about the script. And that was how we started. And today we have the Rise Best commercial.
Two pivotal parts in the commercial. One, Casey was strong on it. One, I was very strong on it. I think the first one was the traffic scene when we had like the boy come to clean up this thing. It seemed like a very, very sorry, it seemed like a very minute like detail, but like it's like you're thinking about your hustle, but you're not thinking about other people's hustle. And that was like what that scene was about. It's like, yes, you can be in traffic, like you're tired and everything. And then this guy just comes to come and clean up your windscreen and everything. But he's also trying to rise, if I can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in your own personal this thing, you're concerned about your own, but like everyone is literally trying to elevate. So the reason for that action is that we just didn't want to keep it that okay, it's just the main characters that are being elevated or they are the ones going through all these things. As you are going through life, there are other people around you that are also going through the same thing. You understand? So that was very important to the story. And even on set, I'm sure you guys see the BTS. We spent a lot of time on it because Casey was very intentional. I was like, we need to capture these moments because this might be the part that somebody will relate to. You understand? Like, yes, it's easy to just look at the main characters and say, oh, yeah, this one wants to rise and everything. But just those little details that might seem minute to some people was very important that we captured it. Then, secondly, was the part where everybody um, rose at the end. I think it was very poetic. A lot of people had comments. Like when I also like check feedback and comments, people singled out that part. It was like it's just it also flowed with the voiceover. Everybody wants to rise, and you just see these people ascending. So it was very important that we have all those kind of memorable, snackable moments that people can just pick and just say, "Nah, this climax is epic." You understand? Like I can see myself also rising.
Yeah, he said it like that traffic scene. I'm the emotional one. I am the emotional one. Like I get very emotional, especially if there is a part of the story that I'm attached to. I don't know why I was attached to that little kid cleaning the windscreen. I was so attached to that part of the story, like because I'm too emotional. I can remember when they were telling me, "Oh, we have to go." I'm like, I told everybody at some point. I had to remind everybody, I am the director. So I said, when we leave here,
Let everybody know.
because I didn't understand why everybody was so satisfied with belittling the character. And I'm like, this character is somebody who I'm emotionally invested in. Let me tell this boy's story. Let me, aside from, because in that moment, it wasn't about the tech bro, it was about the kid. It looked like it was about him, but it was about the kid. The tech bro has had his moments in the beginning and somewhere else in the middle. But in that very moment, it was about the kid. And people not understanding it at that point. I mean, I think also maybe because I felt like I did a terrible job, because if I had explained it to them and they understood how important the kid was to me, the story, they would have understood when I was saying that I needed to capture the boy in a way that I wanted to capture him. And God in heaven helped me. By the way, that was meant to be a day scene. It became night.
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
God is such a poetic guy. It became night. It did not only become night, it started raining. My guy
Yeah.
cannot be cleaning windscreen in the rain. And he made everything perfect. It turned out the way it turned out. Capturing the boy's story was very important to me because these are encounters. I lived in the north. These are encounters that I've had every day in the north. Going to school, going to work, going home, going to church. I've had these encounters. So it was important for me to tell the story in that very 2 seconds that we had. And yeah, that was my light bulb moment in the whole story. I think all of it was challenging. There was none that was more challenging than the other.
Very political answer, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, political.
Yeah, all of it was challenging. And this, let me tell you why I felt all of it was challenging. Because every location came with its own unique challenge. You cannot measure them. You cannot say, oh, it was more challenging because XYZ.
Hmm.
They were all challenging. The one with the boy, we didn't film for hours because it was raining. Do you get what I mean?
And it was like a spill from the bike
Bike
day.
scene. Do you get what I
Yeah.
mean? And we had in the house, we had a little bit of problem because we had to shoot everything in one house, so we don't have to do a company move. So they were all challenging, actually very challenging. But I mean, it is what it is, and we got what we got.
And what would you say was your favorite?
Favorite part of the shoot.
By this time,
I guess it's the boy for you.
you should
Is
know
which of the boys?
the
The traffic.
traffic
The
now.
other boy was my favorite, the Superman boy. The moment with his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just something. Also because like he was putting on a Superman shirt, he had the Superman doll, and then Defy Gravity. It was just one of all those things that
Bro, that traffic scene is
is
everything to
for
me.
you.
Like if it was left to me, the entire
But
commercial
shall
would
be
be
natural.
that.
Will be the boy.
Yes.
Won't have collect balance payments. So advice for filmmakers is I think identify why you're doing it and stick to it. You understand? Like um I entered filmmaking because of I wanted to tell stories, I wanted to move something in people, and that is always the focal point when I go into like any project. You understand? If you don't have like that base agreement or the base vision, I don't think you would last or execute at the pace at which you want to execute. So it's very, very important to like pick a focal point. You're going in for money. Yeah, do it to the point where like you know that yes, this is why I'm doing it. But like you have to pick something, you understand, and just stick with it. Also, expect disappointments. You understand? Don't deceive yourself that every shoot is going to be the same, every story is going to be the same, your manner of like approach every story will be the same. Get ready for disappointment. In fact, I feel like filmmaking is one of those things that you're guaranteed at least one thing will break your heart on set. You
drop a
understand?
lot.
Yeah. So it's very important that you have the mind for it so that you're not sulking too much after like something goes wrong. You need to like just accept that yes, this is one of all those bad days and move on to it. So just get prepared because it's not always going to be rosy.
Breakfast will come.
Breakfast will come, you get served. Like but just keep it in mind that you're doing what you want to do. That's it. Yeah. And like you're not leaving it to chance. Like I've made a decision how to be a filmmaker and whatever comes with it, I'm just going to do it. You understand? I'm just going to absorb it. I'm going to go with the flow. The good days, the bad days will come, but I'm just going to remain a filmmaker.
For life.
For life. That's how I say it. The life contracts.
The advice I would say that I have is always learn to speak your truth at all moments. Like these are things I've learned recently. Also, I've evolved. Yeah, learn to speak your truth. Understand that you are not the only one involved. Be open to hearing other people's opinion and have a discerning spirit and say, you know what, this works and this doesn't work. And be honest with yourself. Because, like, many are called, few are chosen. That's the truth. Many are called, few are chosen. You need to find a niche for yourself, the kind of stories you want to tell, where you want to belong. Are you going to be a documentary filmmaker? You are not provided with a platform to learn a lot. You're going to have to learn a lot on your own. So now it is on you to figure out the kind of filmmaker you want to be, the kind of person you want to be. You are going to decide that by yourself. Nobody will decide that for you. You need to go out and find it yourself. Nobody is going to hand it to you on a plate for free. You need to work your socks off. And when I mean work your socks off, it can be in the field, it can be indoors developing yourself. You need to understand what your strengths are. You need to understand where your weaknesses are. Fix your weaknesses, strengthen your strength, and become a badass filmmaker. Just go out there and kick ass. It's as simple as that. Thank you. And with these few points of ours, we hope we have convinced you to give us your next project. Please. We are broke.
Cut!
Thank you, guys.